Welcome back to more Explorers of Darkness. Last time, we kind of got the shit kicked out of us a little bit in Surrounded Sea, but now we were fine. And, well, now we have a son, and we need to go find blue gummies for him at Craggy Coast. Is what I would be saying if we needed to go to Craggy Coast, because luckily, I came prepared for this. I mentioned this much earlier in the playthrough, but look at that. We have the blue gummies that we need already in storage ahead of time. Wow. How convenient is that? So, let's just run on over to the guild real quick. So yeah, something I've been thinking about, an item that I really want to get my hands on in this game soon here, is certainly X-ray specs. I do not remember where exactly you find them, and they're pretty rare, but it's well worth it, because in my opinion, they're probably the best item in the game. I'll get more into that, when we get to some actual gameplay, though. For now, it's time for some cutscenes. Why? Of course. Yeah, we officially have a son now. Yeah, I don't give a fuck what you think is a good idea, Chad. Why are we asking this bitch for permission? We have our own house now. We can do whatever we want. Fat little fucker wants yet another blue gummy, but it's okay. That's why we stockpiled 2 of them. See, this begs the question, does he just grow up with, like... Is he just born with a full-grown set of teeth so he can just immediately chew his own food? But this fucker is also so dumb he can't even speak proper English yet, who knows? Oh my god, I forgot all about this part. Yeah, I think it's the only time in the entire game where you actually have a third character following behind you. Pretty funny, yeah? You can even press R to speak to him. Fucking awesome. If only Polybo and Grimo could walk around town with us. I'm pretty sure for this part there's a whole bunch of special dialogue as well, yeah. How the fuck do you know that, Zangoose? Who are you? Fuck you, losers. Anyway, whatever. Just go to the beach. I'm always down for a good excuse to go to the beach this game, ignoring the fact that for 90% of the game, outside of cutscenes, there's nothing actually here. Yeah, we took your egg from its home because we felt like it. Okay, that sleeping animation for Manaphy is very cute. Holy shit. Manaphy is kind of a cute Pokemon. It's like okay. It's one that I honestly don't think of very much. See, now I understand why the, like, 700-pound ogres at Walmart have to carry all their children on a leash, so this type of shit doesn't happen. I get it. Okay, that's funny. They have more special dialogue for this part as well. There's so many instances in this game where NPCs have unique dialogue, even for moments like this where it's like a single day's worth of opportunity to actually see this dialogue from them. It's pretty fun. There's a lot of attention to detail. There's so much dialogue in this game that's so easily missable. So I can see Grimo poking around the corner over there. I'm not sure the developers really expected him to be here for the cutscene. I'll look through the guild. You know, if he was in the guild, I feel like you'd have seen him at this point. But, you know, what the fuck ever. But no, of course, he's at the beach. Well, that took all of, like, 6.5 minutes for everything to go completely wrong, but I guess we are just not fit for raising children. Also, Manaphy having 3 sleep animations. It's kind of crazy, holy shit. And I also have no idea why it's playing the Waterfall Cave theme here, of all things. It's very random. And not very fitting, I don't think. But Cheddar is actually being nice and not blowing up at us like an asshole after we make a mistake. That's kind of insane. Fione, dude. Fione. Who cares how it's pronounced? Why does that thing even exist? Oh boy. Miracle Sea. Generic water filler dungeon number 2. Second one in a row. That's just, great. I guess we're already all geared up, so let's just head into the dungeon. I don't know if this is going to go very well, but we're going to try with Moth as the leader again, so see how this goes. Okay, Miracle Sea. I'm not super confident, but I think we'll be okay, despite how scary the type disadvantage we have could possibly be. So if you've played Explorers of Sky before, you may have noticed we never actually did Sky Peak, and you may be wondering, hey, what the fuck's that? Where is that? And, yeah, in case you couldn't put 2 and 2 together, yeah, Sky Peak, that whole section of the story, is not in the game, because, of course, Shaman did not exist in Explorers of Time and Darkness, because Shaman had never been... Storm Drain, son of a bitch. Because, yeah, Shaman was not in Time and Darkness because it had not been officially, like, released or revealed for mainline at this point. And I think remnants of Shaman's data may exist in the files of the game at least, but it is definitely not obtainable at all in the game until Explorers of Sky. I think it's kind of... I mean, that was like one of the big marketing points of Explorers of Sky, is like Shaman is on the cover of the box and everything, there's the whole Sky Peak arc focusing on it, and it's like, it's in the opening of the game and stuff. And I guess this was kind of around the time period where they started, like, marketing Shaman a lot, because again, they revealed it as like a mythical event, you know, bullshit, for mainline Pokemon. I mean, Shaman always struck me as kind of an odd Pokemon. It's like, it's kind of neat, I guess, but I don't know, I feel like the only pull it ever had was being a mythical, I suppose. I don't know, I don't care that much for any of the mythicals anyway, they're kind of whatever. Yeah, no Sky Peak, which is an interesting little arc of the game. I think it's kind of hampered by the fact that you're, like, forced to do it. Oh, I do not really like Cloyster. I hope it doesn't have Icicle Spear or some shit. Aurora Beam's not much better. I do not like the attack drops. No, the Sky Peak arc is, like, okay for what it is. I like that it's basically, like... It's, like, filler in a sense, but not in, like, a bad sense. If that, you know, makes sense. Oh, tell me I have a roll call orb. Yeah, Grimo's getting his ass kicked a little bit. Yeah, I kind of like this guy Peak as like a low stakes, kind of just like filler arc that's not really relevant to the rest of the story, and that's kind of what I like about the post-game story of Explorers, is that a lot of stuff that happens, it's kind of just like extra filler stuff that is much lower stakes than all the shit happening during the main story, you know, with like Temporal Tower falling apart and like the planet's, you know, paralysis and all that crazy stuff. I like that the scale is dialed back a bit for the post-game. It feels like a refreshing change of pace, basically. My god, my flamethrowers are not doing very much damage. Yeah, there are some other things that happen in the post-game here that are kind of like that. Just like lower stakes, just kind of miscellaneous stories featuring your team and just other teams in the world and that kind of stuff. It's nice. And I wish the later games, mostly like Super Mystery Dungeon, I wish that would have followed suit. Admittedly, I never played the post-game of Super Mystery Dungeon because I'm going to be really, I fucking hate that game, but I'm not going to be complaining about it right now. Hey, another level up is also something I'm not going to be complaining about. Level 44 and 43 on Moth and Chico at this point, like, that's pretty good levels for this point, admittedly. I really wish Polybo and Grimo would catch up in, like, you know, I wish they'd follow suit and catch up in levels a bit. Oh, no. Jesus Christ, Brian really hurts. Brian is a pretty scary, why are you not attacking, Chico? What are you doing, girl? Oh, no. That's not good. Yeah, Brian is definitely scary, because it already does a bunch of damage on its own, but if you're below half health and you get hit with it, it does extra damage. Which basically means if you get hit with a Brian at below half health, you're probably just going to die immediately. Trying to think, there's some, like, Assurance is another move that functions like that, but Assurance is, like, pretty rare, I feel like. I know Assurance was pretty good in Gates to Infinity, because if you choose Oshawott as a starter, it actually starts with Assurance, and that's a game that you can kind of just keep on your moveset for the entire game, which is really, really nice, considering how just nice of it is to have. And there are some threatening enemies that appear in Gates, so being able to kind of have just like an almost guarantee way to just kill any low health enemy, that's really nice in Gates. In this game, yeah, Brian is a TM, because it's based on Gen 4, although I've noticed that, despite there being so many water Pokemon, a whole lot of them seem to not actually learn it for some reason. I'm pretty sure Piplup can learn Brian, and a lot of Piplup's level up learns it as kind of mid, so Brian is a pretty, like, worthy move to learn. Another XIC, that's good. Yeah, I do not need these sticks. I wish sticks were better. I've talked about sticks before. I've never really bothered using them very much. Any stick class throwing items, because I feel like most of the time you would want to just have a ranged move anyway. Although I suppose if you get, like, Iron Thorns or Silver Spikes, it can be a nice excuse to, like, basically, like, free up an moveset slot, so you don't have to carry a ranged move if you're willing to use, like, an inventory slot instead, I suppose. Cradily. I guess Cradily is interesting. I don't think I've mentioned this before, but for the context of level reset dungeons, Cradily is interesting because it's actually really, really bad. Speaking of really, really bad, Jesus Christ, please don't discharge me. Let's get closer and hopefully not just get nuked to death by a water move. A little closer. Oh my god, that damage. Yeah, Cradily is interesting for the context of level resets because it's very bad. It is an evolution of Lileep, of course, and Lileep is a Pokemon that appears in, like, Drenched Bluff. So it is a very early Pokemon in the game, which means its stats at low levels are extremely low. Which is just the case, like, I mentioned this a long time ago, a lot of the very early game Pokemon have extremely low stats to compensate for it being the beginning of the game, and that extends to their evolutions as well. In fact, Starmie in this dungeon as another Pokemon is actually very bad for level resets for the same reason. It has terrible stats. And something else that's interesting about Cradily is that it has the ability Sticky Hold, which prevents your item from being dropped, which is nice, and it has a very interesting... Oh, I'm sorry, it's not Sticky Hold, it's Suction Cups. I think Suction Cups also prevents your item from being dropped. But it has a very interesting secondary effect here in PMD, that being, it prevents you from being warped, which in some circumstances might be a good thing, assuming you step on like a warp trap. Not being warped by that would be convenient. What's not convenient is getting hit by Whirlpool right here. That fucking hurts. But what's not convenient about Suction Cups is the fact that the item Warp Scarf will fail to warp you. And that's bad because Warp Scarf, for a lot of low stat, weaker Pokemon for level resets, the Warp Scarf is a very reliable cheese strategy, or at least, maybe not reliable because there's some randomness to it, but it's a very, like, safe cheese strategy, basically. If you're not strong enough to fight enemies, you can equip the Warp Scarf, and if you get into a bad situation, you can bank on just teleporting out of there. But because Cradily has Suction Cups, you can't actually do that. Funny thing about the Warp Scarf as well, by the way, it's a version-exclusive item to time. It's not in Explosive Darkness, which means in level resets, no Pokemon can rely on that, so that's just great. I can't wait to deal with that whenever I get around to doing Zero Isle South in the save file. Which I will try to do at some point, like I said. Oh, this is, we're not even gonna go this way. These traps are annoying as fuck. Chico girl, get over here. Stop getting stuck in water. Yeah. This, Warp Scarf not functioning for Cradily and its bad stats make it a not very good Pokemon, unfortunately. And I mean, I guess Cradily is a little cool, I guess. It's not a Pokemon I really ever think about, to be honest. But I guess all Cradily fans will just have to suffer with their favorites. You know, all 2 Cradily fans have to suffer with their favorite not being very good for level resets. God, how did Love Disc take so little damage from that regular attack? The Pokemon in here are generally just really tanky. A lot of them have really high amounts of HP. Although I gotta say I'm surprised that Wailmer earlier in the dungeon, pretty sure we saw Wailmer, he only had like about 100 HP and just went down really fast. That surprised me considering his whole thing is being a fat fuck. Oh jeez. Sharpedo's also a little bit annoying because Rough Skin. I don't remember how much damage Rough Skin reflects. Okay, Swagger is certainly not good at either. Jesus Christ. Please get rid of him quickly, Grimo. Or just keep buffing us, sure. Not even spreading the busted Chico is fucking rude. Taunt. Oh, he can't use Leer anymore, can he? Okay, well. His taunt is gone at least, but I was too far away because Chico's in the hallway, meaning, I'm still confused. Wait, am I? Oh no, I guess I'm not. There we go. Okay, I guess Rough Skin reflects like half damage, which is... Well, considering how much HP he has, it's still kind of annoying. Oh, what the hell is this, man? My god, even unresisted hit, that Ember just does a crazy amount of damage. And then this ugly fuck Huntail. Anyway, something else interesting that happened recently is, recently did a game store run with some friends, and something that I have a slight passion for is I'm very interested in old strategy guides for games. And when I was at one of the game stores the other day, I got pretty lucky and I actually found the official, oh shit, the official Nintendo Power strategy guide for Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team, which was quite a cool find, even though it was in kind of bad condition. Some of the pages were a little, like, crumpled up and crappy looking, and there was a handful of missing pages as well at the front, which sucked, but most of it was still intact and readable, which was pretty cool. And there's some actually interesting information in there. I don't remember much of it off the top of my head, and... son of a bitch. I'm too lazy to, like, reach across the room and, dig into it, especially while I'm trying to play this game. I can't really read and play at the same time. But there's some interesting stuff in there. I'm surprised that a lot of these strategy guides, especially the unofficial ones, they tend to have some really crappy and weird information, and some advice which is questionable at best, and just flat out, like, actually wrong and can fuck you over at worst. Oh my god, 99 damage from a single hit. Jesus Christ. These rocks are working overtime. Yeah, some of the information in these older strategy guides is very questionable, but for the most part, the Rescue Team strategy guide I was looking at, it actually has some pretty valid information in there. Some, like, actually pretty relevant information that would be helpful for playing the game, especially in this era in, like, the mid-2000s where the internet was only still, like, beginning to bloom. You wouldn't find a lot of this information online. There's still definitely some missing stuff in there, though. There's no, like, specific spawn rates. What the fuck? I did not realize that Wary Fighter, the IQ skill, I didn't realize I could activate from missing, like, Baton Pass. That was strange. Anyway, yeah. There's not, like, there's some missing information in that strategy guide. But what there is pretty good. I guess as I'm talking about this, I'll try to show some pages of it over on the side, because it was interesting. I actually had this strategy guide in, like, PDF format downloaded on my computer already, so maybe it was a waste of money, but, you know, I do like to collect physical media like that. Strategy guides for games are always something that have kind of fascinated me. It's not really relevant to PMD anymore, but I remember one of the weirdest things I owned, and I still own this, by the way, is I had a strategy guide for, or I should say, I still have a strategy guide for Donkey Kong Country, but the GBA port of the game. Which is crazy because I've never actually even owned any version of that game. And yet, since I was a little kid, I think my dad got it from like a pawn shop or something. He just got this strategy guide for Donkey Kong Country GBA. And so like, I would spend so much time as a kid reading through the strategy guide and thinking like, wow, this game must be really cool. And then not actually getting to play it, which maybe that sounds a little sad, and maybe it is, but shit. But yeah, funny stuff. It's for me owning that strategy guide for like over 20 years at this point. It's in pretty good condition. It's somewhere deep within the depths of my closet. Shit, watching carefully. I don't know why he skipped his turn there, but sure. And it's one of those strategy guides. I've noticed this is a thing with a lot of strategy guides where, especially unofficial ones. I think this Donkey Kong Country GBA one was an official guide, but they tend to have, like, very strange wording and, like, prose for a lot of sections of the writing, and it's odd. There's, like, a lot of very... Like, they use a lot of alliteration and just, like, strange words, so there were so many parts in the strategy guide when I was a kid where I'd have to read it, like, 5 times and I have to be like, why the fuck is it written like this? Like, what are they even trying to say? This is so odd. Again, I will try to see if I can find, like, a PDF version of that strategy guide online and post some images over to the side. Very interesting stuff. I do quite like strategy guides a lot. I'd like to get my hands on more of them at some point, although my bedroom is basically like a fucking tiny-ass little hut. I don't exactly have room for a bookshelf or anything. Anyway, wow, second half of the dungeon. I didn't even realize this dungeon had a second half. You're so right for that, Chico. You're so fucking right. I don't want to jinx it, but so far this dungeon run has been pretty smooth. I especially don't get why there's a second half, by the way, when the second half, the music and tile set are the exact same. I guess because this is a somewhat long dungeon, they wanted there to be a break point, so it's not just all in one go. This game is a lot nicer with keeping dungeons shorter than Rescue Team was. Rescue Team was not shy about having really fucking long dungeons. Again, like Western Cave and Silver Trench being 99 floors. Stormy Sea was like 40 or 50 floors. I think it's Southern Cave, which is 50 floors. They were not at all shy about longer dungeons, and I kind of respect it. Although I think I've mentioned this before as well. Oh my god. Only 2... How low level are the Whalmers in this dungeon? Kind of surprised he didn't just kill himself with Splash. I'm also surprised he splashed into me twice in a row. That was kind of funny. Yeah, speaking of Splash, that reminds me, a funny thing about that move is in... Oh, shit. Oh my god, I'm dead. Okay, great. I did not mean to basic attack there. Oh, that's not good. Please don't murder me. Okay. That was kind of bullshit. I just got absolutely evaporated by Hydro Pump. And we have plenty of Reviver Seeds anyway, so it's not the end of the world. God, these characters are scary. What was I saying? Yeah, in Explorers of Sky in Special Episode 4, where you play as some characters we have not met yet. One of them is Lopunny, and because of how it handles movesets for characters in special episodes that you play as, they basically can just have any combination of moves that any combination of, like, oh, am I dead again? Okay, no, Chico tanked that shit, thankfully, but oh my god, Kingdra is a menace. What the hell is that counter damage? But no, the characters you play as in special episodes, they can have any combination of level up moves up to whatever level they are, which leads to some strange stuff like me getting fucking insta-give by Hydro Pump again. God damn you, Kingdra, you sack of shit. Screw you. Stop killing me while I'm trying to explain shit. Oh, god damn it. Yes, what was I saying? Yeah, at least the stuff like the Lopunny in Special Episode 4, possibly having, like, fucking, like, Splash in its moveset, which is obviously just completely useless. I know... I'm not even gonna deal with you, asshole. Yes, I know the, like, Sunflora you play as in Special Episode 3. Oh, shit. It can have, it doesn't have the best level up moves, meaning if you're unlucky, then it can just know a bunch of complete crap, and the special episode becomes significantly harder considering you're fighting a bunch of poison and fire types for most of it. Oh my god, this is getting bad, man. I don't really want to eat the Violent Seed right now. I don't think it's a good idea to eat that right now. Let's try to save it. I did not think... Okay, so first of all, I did not think, the Ember would trigger the counter damage. I guess Rough Skin counter damage is just like adjacent hits, not physical. Second of all, I'm a bit surprised it actually, it blocked me using Focus Energy because I got taunted, but it still let me use Scratch after. That's interesting. I guess interactions with linked moves like that are a bit odd. Also, Cloyster just kind of watching carefully and allowing me to just kill it for no reason. That was kind of weird. With some money. No, I didn't want that stick. Son of a bitch. Mantine. Mantine can be a little scary. Mantine's pretty good in this game, to be honest. In fact, in my extra save I have on the side where I've been going for like 100% completion, I haven't played that in a few weeks, admittedly, but my main in that is actually a Mantine, or one of my mains is a Mantine. Oh, you dickhead. One of my mains in that playthrough is a Mantine, and it's pretty good. It gets Water Absorb, which is great. It gets Swift Swim, which is great if it's raining. It gets several great range moves. It gets like Bubble, Water Pulse, Bullet Seed, like Aurora Beam, I think. Some kind of ice move. Oh, you dickhead. Stop using Brine on me. The Mantine is definitely pretty good. I remember Mantine is not very good in Rescue Team because... Son of a bitch, you gotta take him out quick, Chico. Actually, wait, can she use aromatherapy to cure her own yawn? No, okay. Oh, she woke up immediately, though. That was kind of odd. No, Mantine is not very good in Rescue Team, because first of all, it's version exclusive, which is, like, kind of annoying, but not the end of the world. Second of all, it's only in red, but it's pretty trivial to just unlock the version exclusive Pokemon in the opposite version. Second of all, what was I gonna say? Yeah, it only appears on a single floor at the very end of a certain dungeon, which means it's kind of rare to find and kind of annoying to find. And third of all, despite the fact that you get it at level 15, it has the stats of a level 30 Pokemon and the EXP requirements of a level 30 Pokemon, meaning it's level 15 and requires like 30,000 EXP to level up once, which is absolutely fucking ridiculous and pretty much makes it unusable considering just how important level is in Rescue Team, because level is just such a huge factor in damage calculation. It makes Mantine basically unusable unless you want to give it 20,000 like Joy Seeds. Fuck that. Anyway, hey, look, it's Gyarados and a bunch of Fiones. Nobody gives a shit about Fiona. A bone to pick with me, that's... A million years too early to pick a fight. Well, sorry for you, Grandpa, but it is not Red and Blue anymore. Honestly, in Pokemon Red and Blue, Gyarados still wasn't even anything crazy. Gyarados is such a fucking jobber. Anyway, this crazy, Blinker Seed, go. Wait, we don't even need to use the Blinker Seed. X-I Seed, go. Okay, now let's corner him and just jump his ass. Oh my god, that damage is fucking insane. Yeah, beat his ass, Polly. Oh, why does it have counter damage? I'm lucky that Polibo did not just kill himself in that Gyarados. I'm lucky I didn't just kill myself. Oh, why has he got non-sleeper? Okay, yeah, completely fucking owned, unsurprisingly. What is that animation? That was really goofy looking. What the fuck? What a fucking jobber. I guess Fiona's, like, a little bit cute. I realize its colors are kind of off in this game. That's not uncommon for, like, PMD Pokemon to have off color schemes. Normally it's a much darker blue than Manaphy. I don't even want to know how the Fiones produce their dew, but whatever. See, you know why this happened? It's because we have that little fountain of water on the right here on our house. And we didn't let him just sleep in there, bro. That would have been fine. He could live in the water just fine. Bit unfortunate. We gotta put our cute son up for adoption. Wee bit unfortunate. I also find it a little amusing that the Manaphy in this game is, like, clarified to be a boy, despite the fact that I'm fairly certain Manaphy is gender unknown. Not that it really matters. I always thought Walrein was a strange choice for Pokemon to appear here, but a little based, because Walrein is pretty cool. The fact that it's playing, like, one of the fucking Time Gear motif themes for this is kind of funny, considering that we're not even in the main story anymore, and this doesn't have anything to do with the Time Gears. It's over. It's fucking over. Fucking CPS reclaimed our beer fetcher. This is bullshit. Okay, that's actually kind of sad that it doesn't play any music. It doesn't play the normal happy music for this morning sequence. It's a bit of a odd dialogue choice as well. I don't remember this. It is sad. Maybe we will be able to see Manaphy again, perchance. Subtle foreshadowing. The music's still not kicking in. That's a little sad. But anyway, yeah, well, I guess that's the Manaphy arc of the game done and over with. Good shit. Miracle Seed, I mean, other than just getting obliterated by Kingdra from off-screen twice in a row, which was very bullshit, that actually went pretty fine. And thankfully, we're not going to be dealing with any more water dungeons for... Like, there are no more mandatory water dungeons for the rest of the game, which is very pleasant. What's not very pleasant is that the dungeons from here on out are only going to get harsher, even without being at a severe type disadvantage, so... I guess we're just going to have to keep on grinding and training and getting ready for that. And I guess that's what we're going to go back to doing next time on Explorers of Darkness, so I will see you then.